He impressed so many of us, not once but twice actually, on the Strictly dance floor, and he has become a renowned and extremely funny podcaster with his extremely funny wife, Sophie. But behind the scenes, Jamie Laing has been suffering from a really debilitating condition that's left him feeling frustrated and incredibly depressed at times.
Just like me, Jamie lives with tinnitus. It's a condition where you hear ringing or buzzing inside your ears. And Jamie's, they all sound different. Everyone describes it differently. So Jamie's sounds like this. Well, 8 years ago, Jamie thought he would never sleep again. And now he's on a mission to help millions of others who suffer with tinnitus. That's interesting, listening to that, because that is very similar to what I have in my ears. But at the top, I would describe at the top of it is a very high-pitched sound.
A little whistle.
Yes, a little whistle that cuts that. There we go.
That's it.
And so you hear them both at the same time. I don't know if you're able, Stuart, to play them both at the same time.
Play them again.
But it's sort of this shashing sound and then this high-pitched whistle.
Yeah.
So you deal with that every single day.
But so do you, right?
But mine, I feel, is quite low level. And I was saying earlier to the viewers, my advice is to tune out of it.
That's exactly it.
How do you do that?
Well, it's really tricky, right? So, firstly, 1 in 7 people in the world have tinnitus or some form of tinnitus, so they're hearing some sort of ringing. And mine started about 8 years ago. And how you have to learn to accept it, which is a really hard thing to do. So when you first get tinnitus, they say, well, this is forever. There's no cure. You're going to have to live with it.
So it doesn't go?
Never goes.
Really?
It's forever.
Just to say quickly, yours came on like that. You went to bed one night with tinnitus. You woke up in the morning with tinnitus. Yeah,
I woke up suddenly. I was like, what's that ringing noise? Was looking around the flat for the ringing noise and suddenly realised it was coming inside my head. And then I was like, oh my God. But you have to treat it like aircon in the bedroom, or fan, or I don't know if you go on a summer holiday and you can hear the crickets and suddenly they stop at night and you go, oh, there were crickets. You just have to tune out of it. You have to realise it's not harmful. You have to sort of try and forget about it, but it's incredibly debilitating. It causes anxiety. Anxiety then makes it worse, so it's this vicious cycle. Very hard to sleep, and so people have to deal with it around the world, and no one talks about it.
How anxious did you get at one point?
Oh, my God. I mean, when it first started and you realise it's not going to go, you're incredibly anxious. I thought I was never going to sleep again. I thought I was never going to be able to hear again, and it was so loud I couldn't hear people talking to me at one point. It was that bad.
Susanna, did it make you incredibly tense to begin with?
No, it didn't, because I went very quickly to the doctor, who said there is no cure, but you can talk yourself out of it. Now, I know that doesn't apply to everybody, but it's really interesting. The ringing sound we ran just now, that's triggered it now in my ears.
Now you can hear it.
Yeah, so now I can hear it again. So, because you have to make a conscious effort to tune it out, so actually reminding myself of it. But it's fine. I just think I'm not going to worry about it. I will just end up tuning it out again.
So talking about it actually makes it worse.
Sometimes it can.
Sometimes it can make it worse, which is a tricky. So it's a vicious cycle. But the important thing to do is to kind of it's that sort of idea which I now use it as a sign, as a signal, right? So as an alarm. So I sort of say it's my annoying best friend. So when it's high. When it's really high and I can hear it all the time, I go, well, I must be tired, I must be stressed, I must be anxious, I must be worried about something. And so then I use that, so I go, well, it's a signal, I need to have some rest, I need to relax. And if people start using it in that way, it really helps it. But, I mean, some people, there are some cases where some people have had something like meningitis or something like that. They've woken up deaf and all they can hear is tinnitus. So there's nothing, with people who have tinnitus like you and I, everyday noise can block it out occasionally.
Yes.
If you're deaf and you just have ringing, it's pretty, it's horrendous.
So I think we should get across, I think it's really important, although we say there's no cure, there are numerous therapies which can help. So please, if it's something that you're experiencing, don't think there's no point in going to see a doctor. You absolutely can go and see specialists who can check your hearing and who can provide you with help and support and therapies which might make it less of a problem.
That is exactly it, and that's the most important thing, that when it starts, it's very scary. Meditation helps, exercise helps, all these things help it, and without a doubt, 100%, you get used to it.
Yes.
And that is a scary thing at the beginning, but you really, 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 really do.
Well, before we talk about your marriage and why you're both in couples therapy, let's just give you the helpline. If you've been affected by any of this that we were talking about tinnitus, then here we go. Let's have a look at it, please, on AutoCue.
itv.com/helplines is where you can find advice and support.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
you're finding advice and support for your marriage. And we should say we don't normally talk about to guests like that.
Yeah.
We do have a podcast called The Newlyweds.
You're just married, you're incredibly happy together, and you're both loving couples therapy.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Because I'm a nightmare. No, because why? Well, so when tinnitus started happening, I then started getting therapy and realised that therapy was an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Very lucky I can have access to it. Lots of people don't have access, but if you can have access to therapy, it's an incredible thing. Just from a self-awareness point of view, you suddenly start to realise, oh, perhaps the way that I'm doing that isn't right, and you learn a lot of different things. And so when Sophie and I got married, you know, you see the sort of scary statistics, 48% or 43% of people end in divorce.
It's about half, yeah.
It's about half. So I was like, I don't want this to happen to us.
No.
Why don't we start from the very beginning, every other week, once a month, let's go and have therapy. You can say all the things that I annoy you about. And she was like, great, this is going to be perfect. And so we started doing it. And honestly, it's been a game changer.
And do you hear things from her in therapy that surprise you? You thought, oh, God, I didn't know I did that, or I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, I think I'm amazing. Honestly, I thought I was like, I don't have any faults. And you do. You find out, what did I find out? I found, that I tend to not listen a lot, that I can do things that can be slightly jarring or irritating. And when you start to have those conversations, I really think that relationships is all about honesty. And if you start being honest with each other from the very beginning, having those difficult conversations from the very beginning, you kind of just work your way through things.
And what have you said about her that came as a shock to her? You don't have to tell me that, if that's...
No, I don't mind saying. I mean, I think...
You know that Richard is an agony uncle, by the way.
I did know.
The Telegraph. Yeah.
But it's amazing, right? Do you know, she's actually pretty great, if I'm totally honest. But I sort of said that she can sometimes get... when she gets irritated with me, she doesn't talk about it. What she does is she holds it in, and then it suddenly comes out, and all the stuff that I've annoyed her about.
Like me, she can sometimes shoot from the lip, and we have a clip of that, don't we? Don't we? Of giving your marriage date away?
Yeah. Oh, my God, yes!
Oh, yes. Is this when you were on Good Morning Britain a while ago? Before the wedding, you'd kept the wedding date a complete secret.
Yeah.
And then this happened.
When are you getting married? When's the date?
May 19th next year.
I can't believe...
May next year.
May next year.
Oh, my God, was that a secret? I just outed it.
I can't believe that we did the podcast, and I said, can I say that? She was like, if you tell the date of our wedding on the podcast, I'll never speak to you again.
Because so many people are going to want to come.
Do you know what, guys? If that was me, and I had revealed it, so much trouble.
Doghouse.
Oh, my God, so much trouble. So much trouble. But then what was even better is that we then sent out invitations out, and Sophie actually took a picture of the invitation and posted it on her social media, so then everyone knew the location as well. So the date, location, everyone, come to our wedding.
Come on.
Come on!
And what you are inviting people to, of course, is your tour.
Yes.
You're out doing it all live.
Yeah, so we have our podcast, Newlyweds, which is sort of about being couples and being married, all these different things.
It's very funny.
Thank you. So my wife is very funny.
You're both such a joy to spend time
That
with.
is so kind. And we're going on tour, but it's not one of those tours where you just sit on stage and just do a podcast. We have all singing, all bells, all whistles, and I have an amazing surprise for Sophie she has no idea about. And I just cannot wait to go on stage and do that. When she sees what's going to happen, it's going to be unbelievable.
I mean, you could just tell everyone now.
Yeah,
OK, I'll say it now. All right, I'll say it now. No, I can't.
Don't spoil it.
Just before we let you go, Jamie, I just want to go back to the moment on Lorraine, where you almost scarred of a life by revealing... Have we got the pictures, Stuart? Let's have a look. You revealed to Lorraine Kelly that you had had a tattoo of her face put on her arm. Your arm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gorgeous tattoo, and what a tribute to one of our queens of daytime.
I know.
But she was not that happy about it.
She was. It's a bit stalkerish. She was really upset. But I have a surprise for you guys. Imagine.
Oh, yes, I was excited.
She was honestly freaking out, so I had to tell her. I say, it's fake. She's like, oh my God, thank God.
You just got to wipe it off.
Yeah, I just wiped it off. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good luck on tour.
Thank you, guys.
Love to your lovely wife.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
And if you hear the ringing in your ears, go to the doc. you can get help.
And it's okay. And it's okay.
It's okay.
It will get better, I promise.
Absolutely.
Well, that's very comforting for people to hear, I'm sure.